What's up, everyone？ 我是麦克老师。今天是美国大选，但是很多人说拜登会输了，为什么呢？我们一起来看一看吧。
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
他刚才说什么？我也不知道。Ooh, it is getting cold here in Minnesota, so I'm going to try to make this quick and go back inside. But first, if you want more great content, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. If I can get 3,000 likes on this video, maybe I'll just run for president myself. So, 2020, craziest year ever, and it's about to get crazier. November 3rd is a presidential election in the US, and it's kind of a big deal here. I want to take a look at why many people think Biden is going to lose. It's been speculated that he may have some kind of dementia or maybe some kind of cognitive decline. Now, I'm not here showing you these videos to totally just make fun of this guy, but I gotta say, there are some pretty funny clips here. But make sure you watch until the end because I found a great video of a doctor who's analyzed Joe Biden, and we're gonna get his opinion on whether Joe Biden really has some kind of dementia. Here we go. If one thing is very clear, it's that Biden is maybe not so good with numbers. Let's watch this clip of him from this week talking about COVID.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives, when you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years.
I mean, it's true, but we didn't really have COVID-19 in the past 99 years.
Why in God's name couldn't we provide an $8,000 tax credit for everybody who has child care costs? It would put 720 million women back in the workforce.
720 million women back in the workforce. That sounds awesome. Problem with that is the US population is less than half of that. Let's hear his thoughts on gun deaths.
150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. More than all the wars, including Vietnam.
150 million people died from guns in the US, so that's like almost half our population. So close.
Now we have over 120 million dead from COVID. Over 100.
I sure hope it doesn't get that bad. He also has some really awkward ways to say things. Let's have a look at this.
And why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
It's a good question. Number one, I was a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus?
I was a Democratic caucus, or I went to a Democratic caucus?
No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, sorry. What does that even mean? A lying dog-faced pony soldier? I've never heard that expression in my life, but I'm going to use it from now on. Don't be a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Oh, gosh. That's my favorite. That's just...
We hold these truths to be self-evident. Sounds corny. Not a joke. Think about it.
Oh, that's Martin Luther King Jr. That's not corny at all.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Men and women are created by the thing? You mean God? Not exactly sure what he's saying there.
Avoid having an excuse to walk by the dealer and say, no, I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom.
I gotta go boom, boom, boom.
If elected, you would turn 82 at the end of your first term. You'd be the oldest president in American history.
Are you willing? Churchill.
Okay, so why is this problematic? Well, Winston Churchill was British.
American history.
Oh, American history.
Yes.
Oh, American history. Oh.
Are you?
I was joking. That was a joke.
Okay.
Oh, he was joking. I sure hope so. I really hope so. I don't know. Biden's also earned the nickname Sleepy Joe from Trump.
Oh, Sleepy Joe.
And sometimes you can kind of see why he gets that name.
You know, the rapidly rising with I don't know. Why doesn't he just act like a president? That's a stupid way to say it.
You know,
I guess,
Donald
but
Trump
I
was
really
asked
wish
on.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, probably best I don't.
Hi, Gangala.
And I tell you what, I'm so darn proud. And those poor people who have lost, anyway.
Oh, poor Joe. There's also been a few occasions where he said completely the wrong thing.
Because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me, we can only reelect Donald Trump.
We can only re-elect Donald Trump. Well, then what are you running for?
I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
Wait, you're going to beat Joe Biden? That's a very deep statement. How can one beat oneself? Now, Biden, much like Trump, has also often been accused of being a racist. So where exactly do these accusations come from? Let's watch a few clips and you can judge for yourself. Did he just slip up or did he mean to say these things?
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids.
Okay, probably just a slip up.
What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
So everyone in the African American community thinks exactly the same, with notable exceptions? Probably not what he meant to say, but that's kind of what he said.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
If you don't vote for Joe Biden, you're not black. So there is this idea that everybody who is black in America thinks the same way. To categorize one race as all thinking exactly the same is a little racist. The ultimate question, does Joe Biden have some kind of dementia? Let's listen to this doctor. His name is Dr. Grande, and he's quite popular on YouTube.
What could be happening with Joe Biden in this situation is that all of these video clips of him making mistakes are put together. So it seems like kind of an intense experience. It looks like there is something going on based on that concentrated information of one type. So people will look at that and say, well, there you go. He must have some type of problem. Nobody would act like this all the time. But that's really the problem. He's not acting like that all the time.
So this is obviously a problem because we're not watching the video clips of him speaking normally and coherently, which is probably 99.9% of the time.
I think it's also important to consider the circumstances that he's speaking under. He's under a tremendous amount of pressure. Any shortcoming that he has is being noticed under that level of scrutiny.
So whether it's Biden or Trump or any politician, any little mistake you make, it's going to be noticed.
Biden is 77 at the time of making this video. Again, some cognitive slowdown would be expected. Biden has never been articulate. He has a long pattern of making these types of errors.
He does have a long history of 30 or 40 plus years in politics, just saying kind of weird things. I mean, imagine if you were 77 years old and you're running for president. You're doing so many interviews every day. You're traveling non-stop. That's really, really tiring, not to mention the pressure.
Combine perhaps an average level of intelligence with all the pressure and the normal effects of aging, and his behavior doesn't really seem that unusual. If we look at the limited evidence that's available, I don't think that evidence necessarily lines up with dementia.
Of course, it's possible he has some kind of dementia. If he really had dementia, I think you'd be seeing many, many more of these really weird sayings and ramblings he has. So Biden's problem here is how he's perceived. Perception of a candidate matters a lot and will affect how people vote. For me personally, I don't belong to the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, so it's quite interesting for me to kind of sit on the outside and look at all of the power dynamics and the psychology and the propaganda. So for me, when I watch these clips, although they are funny, I still need to be skeptical about the claim that Joe Biden has dementia. But again, maybe perception is all that matters, and this might be the reason why Biden loses the election in November. What do you guys think of Biden? Is he fit for office? Leave me a message below. As always, don't forget to subscribe, because if you don't, then you're a lion dog faced pony soldier. Just kidding. I love you guys. 下次再见.